So yesterday the weather sucked. It literally rained all day long. I got nothing done, but thankfully today, as you can see, it's dried up. Kind of sort of blue sky, but at least it's not raining. So today we're gonna go ahead and pull the valve cover off of this car, check the top end, check timing, and then also pull the oil pan off of the car and see if there's any larger bits of metal that are actually in there. Like we said before, we're pretty sure it's a bottom end issue with this car. More than likely a rod, could be something else, but more than likely it's that. But I'm just gonna go over a few more things today and see if I can't find anything else. Go ahead and open her up there. Let's pop this. All right, so like I said, we're gonna go ahead and pull the valve cover off. Being a VR6 turbo and having this short rim in the front is actually much easier to get to this instead of having to move the entire manifold here. It's just right there ready to go, which is pretty cool. So pull that off. We're gonna go ahead and rotate the engine. Well, so I'm gonna try and check timing. The engine locks up at a certain point, so I might not be able to get to the proper timing mark we're just gonna see, but pull this off, kind of look over the cams, make sure everything's okay up here, and then try my best to put it in time and see if it lines up properly. So on this one, it looks like there's only the throttle cable here that's zip tied to this little bracket that's attached to the valve cover. We'll take that off. There's the breather to the catch can back there, and then your fuel lines, and after that, it should just be the 10s all around, and it should come right up and off. I don't necessarily know if we'll actually find anything in the top end. I think we'll see more stuff once I pull the pan off from the bottom, but it's worth checking just to see. And we can also check the timing if I can and see if it maybe skipped the tooth. I don't think it did, but there's a possibility that it did. Some people said it might be a stuck valve, but I think it's something in the bottom end. Like Greg said, he's 99% sure it's probably a rod. Like I said before, this car is a 3-liter built VR6 turbo, but they did upgrade at pistons when they did the larger bore, but they didn't upgrade the factory rods. So I'm not sure any miles on this car, but whatever the miles are, that's what the factory rods are. And this was a 2.9 versus a 2.8, so I don't know how much stronger those factory rods are versus the 2.8 ones, or how much power they can hold. But it might have been just one of their time and they broke, or one or two of them broke. I don't know. We'll see. Until we pull the oil pan off, we'll see if there's actually any more damage down there. I'm hoping it's nothing catastrophic. That way he doesn't have to spend a ton of money rebuilding this thing, but all of the 10s have been loosened up. I got the throttle cable off. I just need to pull the fuel lines off of this little bracket here. And then the hose here for the catch can. And then we can pull this off. All right, so that's off. This. All right, let's pull this out garage and see what we got. So they sealed this this cover on here very, very well. Jeez. Unless I'm missing something, but I'm sure I'm not. It's just on there that good. Oh, there it comes. Whew. I don't think I've ever seen a valve cover on this tight before. They use like straight cement to seal this thing on. Granted, it hasn't leaked, it looks like, but still, jeez. There it is. Oh my goodness. I've never seen a cover on that tight in my entire life. Oh, we're actually getting this pipe here? That's annoying. Can I not do this with that? I hope I can. Oh, there it is, thank God. All right. Let's bring this out of the way. Okay. All right. All right, so from first glance, everything seems to be okay. I don't see any bits of metal up here. I don't see anything out of place. The cams look to be okay, like they're wearing properly. This is actually a dual chain versus my single chain. I had a dual chain before, but then we swapped engines. I went to single chain, but still, that looks okay. So like this section right here looks okay. I don't see anything out of place. So at least for the most part, that's good. I don't see any metal bits in here, none that I could see. So I think this area is okay. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and try and rotate the engine and put it in TDC and check the timing. Hopefully I can rotate it enough to that spot, but at least for this area here, this looks to be all good. We've got the car up, and if you join me down here, we can take a look at the crank pulley, which is this big one right there. There's a little notch right there on the block of the engine, so there's a corresponding little V that's cut out of the crank pulley. On the inside, we need to rotate the crank pulley and line up to there. That is putting the engine in TDC. Like I said, I'm hoping the engine will rotate far enough before locking up to actually put it in TDC, so we'll see what happens. So the issue I thought I was gonna have is actually happening. Where I left off with this car last time, I rotated the engine forward as far as I could before I actually locked up. So right now I cannot go any farther forward. I can go backwards, but we don't want to go backwards. I can't go any farther that way. It's locked up right here. Looking at the cams, I have to rotate them still this way at TDC, and right where it's at is where it's locked up. So unfortunately, can't check timing. I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's out of timing. Everything over here looks to be very, very good. 99% sure it's a bottom end issue, and I don't want to rotate the engine backwards to try and find TDC, and I don't even think I can go far enough backwards before it locks up again. So the top end should be okay. We're not going to do anything else with this. I'm going to close it back up. This should be fine. I'm going to pull the oil pan off and check for debris in there. More than likely, once we pull the pan off this car, we'll be able to see some evidence of what actually happened, and then hopefully try and look up a little bit and see if we can't see any kind of damage. It is pan pulling time. We have a whole bunch of bolts to pull off of there and see what we find. Okay, so about a million tiny little bolts later and one feed line. The pan is off, and there's some more oil to drain off still, but look at this. I go to this side. Oh, you can't see right now, but there is some chunky chunks right there. See those things right there? Oh, we got some chunky chunks in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and drain the rest of this oil out real quick so we can see. But yeah, there is definitely some good old metal. Look at those things. Big old chunks in there. So drain this out and we'll see what these pieces are from. Okay, so with the oil drained out of the pan, there's a fair amount of carnage. All of that. There's some over here. There's a whole bunch of pieces. You can see there's just tons of pieces everywhere in there. I'm actually gonna try and pull them out of here, clean them off until we can see what they're from. And then I'm gonna get under the car and look up until I can't see what's actually broken. But there's a lot of metal in here. Good Lord. So I sent a picture of this to Steve and also to Greg, and Greg said it looks like there's a rod that had shattered. So I don't know if I'll be able to see it from underneath the car, but we're gonna get underneath here real quick with the light and see if we can't look up and possibly see any kind of damage down here. I don't know if we'll be able to see it. I'm not even sure where it would be at or which one actually broke. Sorry, my phone's in the way. All right, well, from here, I can't quite see anything. But obviously there's giant metal chunks, so it's definitely broken down here. I just can't see exactly where. And I don't know if I can actually see it from here or not, but yeah, at least from here I can't see any damage. Poor VR6. Looking at the front side here, you can see up all the way to the bottom of the pistons on some of these ones, like over here. But I still can't see exactly where it broke or any other metal pieces like up here. Like I said, I'll have to pull this entire thing apart to see exactly which one broke, but obviously with all the metal pieces we found, the bottom end's definitely not good right now. So like I said, the entire thing needs to come out of the car. I'm pretty sure you can't work from the bottom up to fix the issue. The entire thing needs to come out, pulled apart, and just gone through 100% and just fix the broken pieces, and then probably just upgrade everything after that. Like I said, the top end looks to be okay. I don't see any metal pieces appear, any damage, I don't believe, but they'll go through this as well just to double check that. But it's unfortunate. VR6 Ripperino, all them metal. I'm gonna pull them out real quick and wash them off and see just all the chunks together. But Ripperino VR6, that's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. All right, we're hunting for, this is probably the biggest one that's in there. That big old chunk. There's a lot of big chunks in here. This thing, I've never, like I said, I've never had an engine that has had like a massive failure like this. And it's just see like just like there's so many pieces in there. Straight just carnage. I don't know exactly what this is. I just know there's metal chunks that are just shredded down here. And there's a lot of them. So I went inside and I cleaned up all the metal pieces, and this is what we're left with. Lots, tons of tiny pieces here. This is probably the biggest one there. Lots and lots of carnage. Like I said, Greg said it looks like a rod shattered. I've never seen a rod shatter before, or the pieces from it, so I'll take his word for it. but tons of metal. Regardless of what broke, you don't want to ever see this in your engine or in your oil pan. So this is no good. I've sent all the pictures to Steve, just waiting to hear back what he wants to do. Like I said, more than likely the car needs to go back to the shop that built the engine. They can pull the whole thing apart and go through everything and then fix it, make it run again. But like I said, I don't have the means to pull this, diagnose it properly, replace everything, and, you know, fix all of this. So just waiting to hear back from Steve and see what he says. But hopefully the VR6 wagon will live again and not too long. So the plan now, oil pan back on the car, valve cover back on the car, to put it all back together, back on the ground, and that'll be pretty much it for the VR6 wagon until I hear what he wants to do with the car. Then it'll be the process of getting the car towed to the shop, which is about an hour away, and then it'll be out of our hands. But for now, that's all we can do. It's sad though, this car was so much fun, made so many good noises. I do though want to talk to the guy who built this engine and know exactly what they did from top to bottom. Like I said, they went from a 2.9 to a 3.0. They did upgraded pistons but left the stock rods in the bottom. Other than that, I don't know what the bottom end got done to it. The top end here actually looks fairly like stock. Like, these look like stock cams to me. I know the OBD1 VR6 had the heavy duty stuff in the top. The OBD2 did not. I don't know what the 2.9 came with. It may have been heavy duty, it may not have been, but like I said, the cams look stock. The head looks fairly untouched. But like I said, I don't know. It may have oversized valves. I don't know for sure. So I want to talk to the shop and see exactly what was done. Top end, bottom end, all that kind of stuff. And just see where this thing was at. Barn is all closed up. We can turn this light off now. Turn off this light over here. Close all this up. Oh, it's very dark outside. Close the VR6 up. Unfortunately, that is it for this car for now. So now, boys and girls, we just wait and see what happens. Like I said, I'll put some pictures on the screen here. I took pictures of the bottom end, looking up from the bottom side. I didn't see anything out of the ordinary, but again, I wasn't sure exactly what I was looking for. Like I said, I've never had an engine fail quite like this. Wasn't sure exactly what those metal pieces were from. Greg said it's more likely that a rod had shattered. Maybe it was further up, we couldn't see it. I don't necessarily know, but there are all the pictures on the screen right there, you guys can see. If you see anything out of the ordinary, let me know. Like I said, I wasn't sure what to look for exactly, but it all looked fairly, I didn't see any broken pieces looking up, but obviously there's tons of metal pieces in the oil pan. Something's definitely broken, whether it's a rod or something else. We won't know until the engine's part of the car and fully gone through, but Ripperino VR6, get some rips in the chat. That sucks. It's very, very sad to have it. Just, man, I wanted to hear that car run again, and just hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to be thankful for today. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.